Thank you for joining us. We hope our session will give you better understanding about microLEAP. Follow our powerful tips so you can earn higher returns than ASB, EPF or fixed deposits. At microLEAP, you can earn from 12 to 15% per annum. Plus, we are Sharia compliant and your investments will make an impact on the small businesses seeking funds on microLEAP. Visit our booth now to learn more. Our team will be on standby every day between 2 to 4 p.m. and happy to help. Or apply as an investor now and earn 10 ringgit complimentary credits to invest on our platform. So hurry and keep in touch with us. Small steps, big impact.
Hey guys, welcome to office. And today we have some guests.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Tuku Dari Muzaffar. I'm the founder and CEO of microLEAP. Together with me, we have Matthew Fernandez, my Chief Operating Officer. And behind you with the camera is Mazuki Musa, our Chief Marketing Officer. As you can see, this office is only half full. The rest of everyone else is working from home because of CMCO. So we are following SOPs. So come, let's start. So first of all, what is microLEAP? microLEAP is an Islamic and conventional P2P or peer-to-peer microfinancing platform. So how it is, we help small businesses or micro enterprises, for example, your makcik in Kuala Pilah that wants 10,000 ringgit for her kedai runcit, raise Islamic or conventional P2P financing so that they can use those funds for their renovations, to buy more stock, and things of the like. Okay, so the reason of this webinar, first off, is to find out what are the 10 best reasons why you should invest in Islamic P2P now. And number one is low minimum investment. Matthew, elaborate on that, please.
So yeah, for low minimum investment, as we've done in microLEAP, we've democratized it as much as possible at RM 50 ringgit only. And also we give RM 10 ringgit credits that you could use to invest in any of our investment notes. So that is how we keep our minimum investment at such a low take. And then from there, once you get used to it, you can start doing on a monthly basis, quarterly. You can basically plan your investments accordingly.
Exactly. So the reason we kept it low, which is one of the lowest in all of the other P2P operators, is that we want everyone to have the access or have the opportunity to invest in Islamic assets. That is why we only make it 50 ringgit as a barrier to entry into all our investment notes. Okay, so the second of the 10 best reasons why you should invest in Islamic P2P now is that there is no difference in cost compared to conventional. So how we do that is that normally in most Islamic products, what you'll find is it is generally more expensive than conventional products. For example, takaful insurance versus conventional insurance. Takaful insurance is normally more expensive, and so it is a bit of a barrier for people to use Islamic products. But on microLEAP's platform, there's actually no difference. And how we do that is microLEAP absorbs the commodity murabaha brokerage fee. For those of you that do not know exactly what that is, basically to make our financing Sharia compliant, we have to use commodity murabaha transaction. So there is a commodity trade on the back of this financing. Now there is a cost involved, but because we want to make it accessible and open to everyone, we will absorb the brokerage fee. So there's no cost for a given credit rating between conventional and Islamic.
Yeah, basically we want to make it as affordable for everyone.
Okay, so number 3 of the 10 best reasons why you should invest in Islamic P2P now is that you will be investing under Islamic and ethical principles. So one of the things that we found on our platform is that many of our investors are not only Muslim investors. We actually have many Chinese and Indian investors who love our platform. The reason is ethical principles and Islamic concepts go hand in hand. You know, There is no, if you want to invest in Sharia compliant financing, we do not host alcohol companies, we do not host gambling companies, we do not host drugs and dangerous tobacco companies. Matt, want to add on that?
Yeah, I think the main thing is, we have to take into account there's a Sharia compliant, non-Sharia compliant list that's available on our website. You can go through it, and that is basically, as long as your business is not on that list, then we can have you for financing, can host you for financing.
Yeah, exactly. With that in mind, let me just give you a short video of what is considered Sharia compliant and what is not. Okay, so there we go. Now we know what is considered haram in Sharia principles and
Yes.
what we do not host on our platform if it's Sharia compliant financing.
Yep.
So, on the number 4, in terms of the 10 best reasons why you should invest in Islamic P2P now, is that you get your returns on a monthly basis. So you get monthly payments. Matt, do you want to add on that?
Yeah, the main thing about the monthly payments, I think you've got to compare us to other investment tools out there in the market. You have your ASBs, some of the long-term mutual funds and whatnot that are only paying out either in a year, 10 years, 15, even 20 years. Whereas you can see your returns on the very next month. Because basically, instead of the investor paying a bank, they're paying you directly. The issuer, the business, instead of them paying the bank, they're paying you directly. So you're seeing your returns on a monthly basis on the very next month.
Okay, let me just expand on what is an issuer and what is an investor on our platform. So when you talk about issuers, the issuer is actually the borrower. So this micro enterprise or small business is called an issuer because they issue an investment note which the investors, the P2P investors in this case, are the lenders who would invest into an investment note. Now through our platform, if you are looking at Sharia compliant investment notes, you would invest your money or lend your money into this investment note, and this goes into the issuer or the borrower, which is the micro enterprise or small business that we are trying to help.
Yeah. And also must strictly say that under SC regulations, it must be for business financing only. So no personal financing allowed. We can't fund your next wedding, unfortunately, but we can.
Or to buy your next iPhone, we can't do that.
Yeah, we can't do that. Yeah.
Okay, so number 5 of the 10 best reasons why you should invest in Islamic P2P now is high returns. Matthew?
This is also something really attractive, as we pointed out, even though the rates of profit for Islamic conventional is interest, but the profit rate is, our average profit rate is between 10 to 15%. And even though that's paid out annually, you're seeing that on a monthly basis, and that's really attractive. If you're just taking on our average dead on 12%, it's 1% a month. So it's actually, for no matter how small or how big your investment, you can see those returns literally at the very next month.
Okay, so what Matt's trying to say is that it's actually 10 to 15% per annum.
Per annum,
okay,
yeah.
so these are much higher returns than you would get from ASB. For example, that's only paying between 5 to 6%. EPF, once again, they're only paying between 5 to 6%. And interest rate, deposit rates, they're probably paying anywhere between 1.5% to 2.5% per annum.
And
so
the
these
bank rates as well, right?
the bank deposit rates. So these are very low yielding instruments at the moment. But if you invest in Sharia compliant P2P, such as what you get on our platform, you can get returns between 10 to 15% per annum. So these are very good high yielding assets that will be good for you.
Also, just to add, we take low to medium risk businesses to be funded, because we want to make sure that we have to jaga hati the issuer, but also we got to jaga hati the investors. We've got to make sure that these businesses are able to pay back the following month and so on and so forth. But more importantly, we're looking, long term for all our micro enterprises, those that pivoted especially.
Okay, so let's quickly look at how it looks on our platform live. So this is our microLEAP platform. It is www.microleapasia.com. As you can see, we have 2 languages on our platform, English, and if you click here, it will be Bahasa Malaysia. So depending on your preference, you can choose either one. So if you are an Islamic investor and you want to see what you want to invest in, you will go on the funding list. Okay, at the moment we've been so quick to fund many of our notes where we do have quite a few micro enterprises in the pipeline, which they will be coming online soon. But of the ones that we have already invested in, for example, we have VX Ventures. So they are looking for 50,000 ringgit for 12 months. So if you go online, it will tell you what they do. So is this a Sharia compliant investment note? Yes. Who is the issuer and what does the business do? You scroll down, you can see who is the key owner and their number of years in business. And so this Q&A gives you a feel of what this micro enterprise or business does. If you go down to the rationale behind the issuer's credit risk score, this will give us and give the investors a kind of feel of why this issuer has been credit risk in this way. Matt, maybe you can let us know the kind of businesses that we've had to successfully fund?
Yeah, sure. We'll touch and elaborate a lot more on a following point, but just to let you know, we've got the whole range from a food truck driver right up to someone selling ayam salai,
yes,
right up to pisang goreng, the works.
Yeah,
we'll elaborate further.
Yes, and just if you look at this platform, you can see the kind of profit rate
Yep.
that they were paying. For this person, Acumax, are looking for 12.9% per annum for 36 months. VX Ventures, 24 months at 12% per annum. Shazi Construction, 36 months at 14.5% per annum. So these are all our high-yielding, high profit rate investments that you can do.
Also, just to add, if you see the I button, that's Islamic. C, conventional.
Yeah, so if you wanted to see which ones are Islamic and conventional, you can look at these buttons, I, C, I, or C, or you can straight away go to the filter and
Yep.
click Islamic, and we'll only show you the Islamic investment notes.
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to our screen. So now we've done number 5 of high returns. Let's go to number 6. Number 6 of the 10 best reasons why you should invest in Islamic P2P now is that investments are covered by personal accident insurance. Matt, do you want to add?
Yes, this is something I can safely say we feel very strongly about. There's something from day one in 2018 when we started that we wanted to get microinsurance to cover not just the issuer, obviously that's important, in the case of total or partial disability or death, but we also want to make sure that the investment at least has some mitigation, some cover for it, so that in the event anything were to happen to the key person, say the easiest example is a food truck driver, got into an accident, broke his arm, or sadly passed away, the entire, say, 40K out of 50K balance of the principal is fully covered by our microinsurance. They pay back to our trustees. Our trustees pay back to all the respective investors for that investment loan.
Yes, so basically on our platform, we have this kind of security net for your investments. So in the event that an accident happens to the issuer or borrower, then your whole outstanding amount is covered by our insurance partner. So we're the only ones in Malaysia that are doing this at the moment, out of all the other P2P operators.
Yep.
Okay, so we will go to the next step, which is number 7. Why you should invest in Islamic P2P now? Number 7 is called Impact Investments, helping small businesses grow. Matt, you wanted to elaborate on the businesses that we've helped?
Yeah, okay, so this is where we can elaborate a little further. We've got all the way. One thing is, can safely and proudly say, on Malaysia Day, we managed to fund at least one issuer from every state in Malaysia, right up from Perlis to Sabah to Sarawak to several in my home state in Johor and everywhere in between. And thankfully, what do you call this? Not just the fact that we got every issuer in every state, we've got so many different businesses. We have a legal firm, ayam salai seller, t-shirt supplier, halal online confectionery, another one that does is a chocolatier in Langkawi, pisang goreng seller, which is down the road from my house before. We did a good write-up. It's on our website. You can have a look at it. It's on our blog, where it showed this shop's been around for 30 years. It's a shop that's right down the road from where I live in JB. And I used to cycle there, and I know that the only reason they couldn't get financing from the bank was because they just incorporated a couple of years. But we know, based on their online, because they pivoted during this COVID times, and they're doing really well. And then they came to us, we got them their financing, and in just that short amount of time, once they received their financing, the shop has turned 180. It's a completely new shop, and it's really impressive to see. So we did a little write-up on that for you guys to have a look at. And yeah, that's and then I think everyone else, you could go through our funding list. We've got a whole list. So yeah.
Yeah, so we're all about impact investments. As you can see behind me, our tagline, small steps, big impact. When I founded microLEAP and I left banking, I was an evil banker in my old days. I wanted to do something that had an impact on people's lives, that had an impact on the businesses that we at microLEAP are trying to help. So the most impactful business that I could think of was actually microfinance. So with microfinance, your small amount of funds actually have a big impact on these micro enterprises. Your makcik in Kuala Pilah, that 10,000 ringgit is what they need to grow their business and make more money so that they can have a comfortable life, pay tuition fees for the children, and basically take that big leap forward. So we are now on number 7. So
let's do the video.
Let's do a video. I'll show you one of our issuers or borrowers. Her name is Trendy Bag. She got finance an amount of 10,000 ringgit. So let me just play that video.
Hai, saya Rahima, pemilik butik Trendy Bag di Ipoh Perak. Semuanya mudah dengan microLEAP, permohonan yang mudah dan laman web yang mesra pengguna. Dengan dana yang diperolehi daripada microLEAP, bekalan stok beg tangan dapat dipertingkatkan. Ini selaras dengan permintaan yang tinggi dari pelanggan. Harapan saya agar microLEAP dapat membantu peniaga-peniaga SME seperti saya untuk mendapatkan pembiayaan perniagaan. Sekali lagi, jutaan terima kasih kepada microLEAP.
Okay, so that was a video of one of our issuers called Trendy Bag. Now maybe we can take a break now and just a recap of what of the top 10 reasons we've done so far.
Yep.
So if you look at the top 10 best reasons why you should invest in Islamic P2P now, so we've talked about low minimum investment, as we said, 50 ringgit only.
Yep.
We talked about no difference in costs compared to conventional because microLEAP absorbs the commodity murabah brokerage costs. Yep. You can invest under Islamic and ethical principles because we believe that Islamic concepts and ethical principles go hand in hand. And we have monthly payments, so you get your returns on a monthly basis. And we're now talking about high returns, anywhere between 10 to 15% per annum. Your investment is covered by personal accident insurance. And lastly, what we talked about is impact investments, helping small businesses grow.
Also, like to add, we hit a really big milestone. Just last month, we hit over 1 million ringgit dispersed. And that is, in record time. At the minute we went Islamic. We're sitting now at 95% Islamic. And that shows there's a real growth and a real desire for Islamic assets, as Tugudadi's pointed out.
Yeah, in total, we have dispersed about 1,055,000 ringgit, of which over 1 million ringgit of that is Islamic.
Yep.
So we actually started in October 2019. And to tell you the truth, when we started out, it was only conventional. and it was very slow take up in terms of P2P investors and people who needed the funding. But once we launched our Summit products in April 2020, from financing dispersed of 60,000 only, we hit over $1 million in the space of 5 months. So we are really growing at a really fast pace, but we need more investors such as yourselves to help finance these Sharia compliant financing. So the more we have on board, the better for us.
And remember, small steps, big impact.
Okay, so on the next step of the next reasons that why you should invest in Islamic P2P now is number 8. The issuer or borrower is given free online video training. Matthew?
Yep. So again, this is not so much just obviously we wanting to take care of the issuer or the borrower that needs the financing, because obviously most of them are Buku 555 or they're not really financial literate, etc., etc. But the main thing was we wanted to make sure that before they receive their financing, the investor has that peace of mind that they already have gone through some basic debt management, some accounting training, some bookkeeping, and even an introduction of P2P, so you know what P2P is all about and how it works, that fact that you got to pay the very next month, and it's not something they can, it's not charity.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the main thrust of how we set up this online video training. Is actually we kept the investors in mind as well.
Okay, so the reason that we want the issuers or borrowers to complete this online video training before we disperse the funds is that we want to be responsible lenders, responsible financiers. We want to make sure that these issuers or borrowers have the ability or the knowledge to manage this debt financing that they just have given to them. For many of these micro enterprises, many of these makcik selling goreng pisang, selling cookies in JB, having businesses in Sabah, Sarawak, this is their first loan instrument or first credit instrument. And so by giving them the necessary training, it provides them the knowledge and skills to be able to manage this debt and make sure that they know how to handle and plan their cash flow accordingly.
Yep.
Okay, so we're almost there, man.
Almost there.
Go to reason. Before that, let me just show you how our issuers or borrowers apply online. Are you a small business owner looking for alternative Islamic financing? Try Islamic P2P financing with microLEAP. So what do you need to do? First, please read and understand the Sharia compliant guidelines. Find out more on microLEAP's FAQ page. Once you have understood the rules, go onto our website and create an account. Then choose Raise Funds. Fill in your funding details, including funding amount, tenor, and purpose of funds. Start by filling in your business details in our easy-to-follow steps. You may choose Islamic under application type. You'll need to have a guarantor for this financing. Simply scan or take a picture and upload your identification documents. Then upload your business bank and financial statements. If your revenue goes into your personal account, upload your personal bank statement. Next, upload other supporting documents that you think might help with your application. Upload your business premise photos and make sure it is attractive enough for us to feature on our platform. Then agree and tick the agreement, TNC and privacy policy. And click submit and wait for our team to carry out our checks. You'll also need to complete a psychometric test that measures your willingness to pay your installments. Once we have completed our credit checks, you are approved for financing. You will then need to fill out a simple Q&A so that P2P investors know what your business is about, like the reason for financing and future plans. Then your investment note will be featured on our funding list, ready for investment. You have 30 days to raise your funds. Complete our online debt management video training, then our team will transact the commodity Murabaha. Funding is only transferred after you have completed and passed the online video training. Once your note is successfully filled, we will disperse your financing direct to your bank account. Remember to keep track of your monthly payments. Thank you for choosing microLEAP. Small steps, big impact. Good luck! Okay, so that in a nutshell is how you as an issuer would apply to be an issuer on our platform. One of the things that we look at when we credit risk score an issuer is that we look at psychometric testing. So Matt, you want to have a few words on that?
Yeah, so psychometric testing is basically an alternative credit scoring that feeds into our proprietary credit algorithm to give the overall score, as you can see on our website, low risk 1 to high risk 10. And basically that shows you the willingness to pay, not just the ability to repay. Because obviously that's why for the thin files, especially those that have never applied for financing before, never taken a loan or credit card in their life, this is where the alternative credit scoring comes in. And then, that helps us to do our proper credit evaluation before we onboard these businesses.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to number 9 for the 10 best reasons why you should invest in Islamic P2P now. So number 9, as a P2P investor, is a simple online application. Matthew?
Yep. So this one it's as we've already mentioned. The thing about our application forms are really quick and easy, super simple. IC back, front and back. Don't put a selfie, please. Give your proper documentation and leave all your contact details. And then investors, especially, it is really straightforward. In a matter of minutes, probably as long as the video that we're about to show you is how long it will take for you to apply.
Yeah, so basically all you need is your front and back of your IC. If you're not Malaysian, a passport, transfer 1 ringgit into our trust account or upload your bank statement. Yeah. So let me just show you a quick video on how easy it is to become an investor on our Shariah compliant platform. Looking for alternative investments that provide better returns than fixed deposits? Are you looking for Islamic investments that are Sharia compliant? Try Islamic P2P financing with microLEAP. So, what are the steps? Go onto our website and create an account. Choose Become an Investor. Fill in the applicant details, including full name, IC, and date of birth. You may choose Islamic accounts only in your investor application. Scan or take a picture of the front and back of your IC. Choose the files and upload. Then either upload a scanned copy of your bank statement or transfer 1 ringgit online from your bank account. Then agree and tick the agreement, TNC and privacy policy. Click submit and wait for us to carry out our checks. Once due diligence has been carried out, you're approved. Add to your available balance by FPX, online transfer, or by cash deposit, check, or bank transfer. Go to the funding list and search for Islamic investment notes. Select Islamic investment notes by clicking here. Find the returns and tenors that suits you. Click on the Islamic investment notes to find out more about the issuer or borrower. Once you like what you see, choose your amount and click Invest Now. Or choose Auto Invest and select your criteria so that you don't miss out on our latest Islamic notes. Here is your Islamic term sheet which details your trade.
And you have 24 hours to retract your investment if you change your mind. The payment schedule tells you when you receive your payments. Regulated by the Securities Commission Malaysia, SC. Thank you for choosing microLEAP. Small steps, big impact. Happy investing!
Okay, so now you know how to become a P2P investor on microLEAP's Shire compliant platform. So we're almost there. So the last reason of why you should invest in Islamic P2P now.
Should we do a recap?
No, let's do government. We're here at the end anyway.
Right.
So the last of the 10 best reasons why you should invest in Islamic P2P now is number 10 is government and partnership support. Matthew.
Yeah. We have institutional and corporate partners that have recently joined us, and that's also helped to speed up where we are right now. Really appreciative of MySIF, which is actually my co-investment fund from our government support that will co-invest on every note up to 30%. And that is a huge, I would say, confidence boost, not just for us, but it's also a confidence boost for all our investors, because you would know that every single time you're investing in microLEAP, the government's actually co-funding it.
Exactly. So the government will actually invest on a ratio of 1 to 2. So it's more than 30%.
Yep.
So for every 2 ringgit raised on our platform, the government will put in 1 ringgit.
Yes.
So let me just show you the other partnerships that we have. So one of the most interesting partnerships that we've had is with MTDC, Malaysia Technology Development Corporation, where we are the Islamic P2P financing partner. MTDC has allocated 2 million ringgit to fund up to 30% of our Islamic investment notes, and also they're channeling 5 million ringgit for their COVID-19 relief fund through our platform. We also have a partnership with MA Group Berhad, which is a public listed company, where they will allocate 10 million ringgit to fund up to 30% of each investment note. We've also partnered with MDEC, Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, where we are on the Ebizstart program. We hope to provide Islamic digital financial services for many of the B40 and micro enterprises up and down the country. Of course, MySIF we've spoken before, and they will refer micro and small medium enterprises to us at a discounted fee.
Also to add for MDEC Ebizstart, we are basically the micro financing arm, but also micro investments, because remember, we are as little as 50 ringgit.
Okay, with that, let's do a quick recap of the 10 best reasons why you should invest in Islamic P2P now. Number 1, as you said before, low minimum investment. Number 2, no difference in costs compared to conventional. Number 3, invest under Islamic and ethical principles. Number 4, you get monthly payments into your account. And of course, number 5, you get high returns, anywhere between 10 to 15% per annum. And number 6, your investment is covered by personal accident insurance. Number 7, there's of course impact investments. You're helping small businesses grow. Number 8, the issuer or borrower is given free online video training so they know how to manage their debt. Number 9 is a very simple online application on our website for P2P investors such as yourselves. And number 10, there's government and partnership support that will help and propel microLEAP to where it should be.
Yep.
So that's it in a nutshell. I hope you now understand the reasons of why you should invest in Islamic P2P. The main takeaway for me is that it's all about Islamic impact investments. All your investments will have a direct impact on all these micro enterprises, all these small businesses. You know, that makcik in Kuala Pilah that really wants your financing to help her grow and to grow bigger. That can all be done on our platform.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. We hope our session gave you a better understanding about microLEAP. Follow our powerful tips so you can earn higher returns than ASB, EPF, or fixed deposits. At microLEAP, you can earn from 12 to 15% per annum. Plus, we are Sharia compliant, and your investments will make an impact on the small businesses seeking funds on microLEAP. Visit our booth now to learn more. Our team will be on standby every day between 2 to 4 p.m. and happy to help. Or apply as an investor now and earn 10 ringgit complimentary credits to invest on our platform. So hurry and keep in touch with us. Small steps, big impact. Take care and speak.
Thank you, Matt and Tunku Denny from microLEAP for their explanation just now. So now we have Matt Fernandez and also Mazuki Musa from microLEAP. So they will talk a little bit more about microLEAP. So I would like to start with, if you brief, can you give me a short brief on how to start with your platform?
So should I take this question, Matt?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. It's very simple. Everything's online. All you need is your IC and a bank account. That's it. And go on our platform, and then you just apply and follow the application process and upload all those documents. And it will take about a day or 2 days to get it approved. Simple as that.
That's for the investor. Very straightforward process. Also, on YouTube, we have both the how-to, bagaimana jadi pelabur, and how to be an investor. Simple instruction video. Same thing for peminjam. Same thing for the borrowers. We also have that English and BM also in YouTube. Very straightforward. And to add on what Zuki has mentioned, just have to add all your necessary documentation. We will perform our credit checks, our credit evaluation for both the investor as well as issuer will be approved accordingly.
You're right. Adding to what Matt just said, you're right. You can apply also as an issuer or borrower or as an investor. So if you want to apply as a borrower, there's more things that you need to prepare. First of all, you at least have to apply as a business or have a business for at least 6 months. And you need to have financial statements, bank statements, of course, your IC, and we need to have a guarantor. But the good thing about applying on our platform is you can be your own guarantor. The business owner can be his own guarantor. But if that's not enough, you have to get a third party to be a guarantor for you. The reason why we do that is what we do on our platform is protect both ends. First of all, the investors. The investors will be lending the money to all these issuers, and the platform that we have right now is mainly focused to micro businesses, mainly B40 or lower and 40 group. So which means we are helping businesses like the Mak Kias, Teguh Denny's favorite example. Mak Kia selling goreng pisang for 30 years. Food trucks, mostly online businesses that's been sold from homes. So the reason why we need to have a guarantor is to at least give a safety net to our investors, at least to the investors to be more confident that we will get the money back lah. But inshallah, alhamdulillah, right now, just so you know, our default rate still remains at 0%, just because of the system that we put in place. Matt, let me just toss it over to you. There are other stuff that we've done to mitigate our, sorry about that, our risk, because as you can see, our platform, even though we give you high returns, you do invest on the risk. So we cannot promise 100% that it's risk-free, just to say that out right now. But we do put a lot of mitigations in place to help mitigate the risk, basically, so to protect the investments. So Matt, would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's already touched on the top 10 reasons. We provide personal accident insurance of the key person. So in the event, say, the food truck driver got into an accident, broke his arm, I mean, of course, death is covered, but let's just say, kalau you can't drive the truck, how are you going to pay for the financing? So that's where the microinsurance comes in, covers, say, 40,000 left or 50,000 financing, the entire 40,000 principal is covered. So at least the principal will be paid back to the trustee will pay back to the investors.
Okay, all right. So you were saying about the platform just now. So is it possible for a potential investor to have access to the list of funding of projects?
Yes, definitely. It's quite, again, very straightforward. Once you sign up and you're an approved investor, or even if you are just perusing our website, click on the funding list button on the left, bottom left corner. It's a green button. Click on that and you'll see all our successfully funded notes, as well as new and available notes. And we also have a marketing hotline that Zuki has set up, as well as our own microLEAP hotline, which is on the contact. You can drop us an email and or WhatsApp, and we'll get back to you accordingly, lah. You know, so we can.
Thanks for adding. Thanks for adding that, Matt. Yes, I'll provide the marketing line after this. Yeah, that's right. But just to expand on what Matt said about the funding list, if you can see the difference between us and other P2P operators, is that we try personalize every note that you invest on. So you will actually understand what the business is about. So for example, I wish I could show you, but I'm sure if you see the pre-recorded video earlier, Tuku Danny has done a demonstration with Matt, where we will understand what the business is about, what they're using the money for, how well they've been doing, and what they're doing to pivot. And the writing style also is very easy to understand. So even though you're a first-time investor, you would understand if this business is able to sustain itself, especially, everyone's COVID sensitive, right? So stuff like that we do, that's on our platform.
Also, just to add, how we personalize similar to Kiva. So the credit rationale will also share the credit bureau probability of default score as well. So that's also good for the investors to know. And we'll give our rationale on top of that, and any independent verification the team has done will be mentioned there. And on the SME section, the microLEAP Plus, we will be looking at giving maybe redacted P&Ls or at least the most important key information that's needed. So at least top line revenue losses, revenue profits, etc. And that will be extra info that we are looking to add on to whatever is currently. Our team and TD and myself are working on that.
Okay, so the last question will be, how long can the loan period be, and would it be possible for an entrepreneur who has problems with CITOS to apply for the crowdfunded, to be crowdfunded?
Okay, great question. Basically, I have a minimum requirement of 6 months. It cannot be a brand new startup, for example. That would be ECF. Equity crowdfunding would be your way to go if you have a viable product. But in our case, 6 months minimum. CITOS increase is not strong. That will definitely be affected. But we do have something called the Grameen model, which we touched on earlier. So we've digitized aspects of the Grameen group financing model. If they were to come in as 5 entrepreneurs, especially if it's 5 women entrepreneurs, they get an automatic credit uplift in our system and via our credit, and also our credit algorithm also has already taken into account. It's 5 women entrepreneurs, 1 strong candidate, and the other 4, as long as within the same kampung, same area, cannot be like 1 Johor, 1 Kelantan. So as long as semua lebih kurang, say all in from Kuching, for example, or all from JB, then or they're related. Then we see that helps, and we can, the ones yang boleh cakap thin file, we call it thin files. So those people can apply as a group, 5 entrepreneurs, male, female, of course, acceptable. And then that chances of getting funding from that is acceptable. So the Grameen model works with the peer pressure, peer support system, where all 5 are credit scored individually, but we take them as a group as well. So that means if one, maybe for that month, finding trouble to pay, the other 4 can tolong. That's how the group Grameen model works, basically. And yes, they can still apply, lah. But we will, of course, that being said, to add on also to what Zuki mentioned about the guarantors, I mean, where maybe they may be, if they have a sufficient credit history, but their individual PD score or credit score, PD meaning probability of default, that score is low or on the lower side, then we might need a secondary and we may still consider their case. Or maybe we might ask them to apply, KIV if 6 months down the road, if we can see a little bit of traction. So that's also important.
Okay, so the last one, yes or no question, I think. Is there any moratorium given to issuers at the moment?
No. But on a case-by-case basis, we have to look at it. In this is also only for existing, not for new issuers. Thing is, you come to microLEAP and I give you a moratorium. We're not a bank.
Okay.
So very important to note that straight off the bat. But for existing issuers, we are looking at seeing, we're trying to look how can we restructure or refinance as and when need be for the individual issuers. We can't use a blanket. We're not a bank,
All right. So everyone.
Correct. Just want to add on what Matt said. So far, just so you know, we are still 0% default rate. Yes, there are issues with some issuers, but we do it case by case. Just to expand on what you said, and only when need be that we provide a restructuring exercise. But this is a one-to-one. Yeah. But so far, overall, all of our issuers have no issue paying off their finances, because the reason why is because we assess during the credit assessment process. We make sure that they have like an ongoing, because now it's COVID, right? So we realize that you have to have an online presence. You have to at least have a business pivot into Shopee, or at least have your own website or your own Facebook site. There's so many other ways to trade, And because these guys are mostly in retail and trading, it's very easy to sell online. You don't have to sell it on a typical mom and pop store anymore. Everything can be done online. So because of that, of our selection process, making sure that we have the right issuers on board, that the risk is quite minimal at the moment. And just so you know, just to add on, like the credit risk, our own credit risk algorithm, most of our issuers are between medium and low risk. So again, this is all done by the fantastic team of Matt and his ops team, making sure that we do select the right people, the right issuers or borrowers on board, so we can protect our investors. On top of that, we just want to say that, I don't know, I just lost my thought there.
But basically, we are looking to jaga hati both the issuer and the investor.
That's right.
To both. So we have to make sure on our credit side, we got the ones which really have shown what Zuki has pointed out, the pivot, they managed to do both online, offline. Much of business like that, we are more than happy to help, because we know that these guys, pandemic, pre and post-pandemic, they are willing, that means they'll be able to sustain. So that's the main thing. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that is all from us. For everyone in the audience, in the platform, who are watching, I think you can have you have Amira from your team members in the chat room as well. So Amira can drop the contact number there. And then thank you Matt and Mazuki for this session.
Mazuki can drop the marketing hotline as well. So
thanks, Haikal. Can I just highlight one more thing? We are giving out free 10 ringgit credit for every registration to microLEAP. And then if you refer, you've got your own refer code once you get set up your site, your own profile. And if you share other investors if you refer other investors, you will get 10 credit for each referral. Wow. So please try it out. It's free credit. You can try it out. You don't even have to spend. Just we are very confident that the platform that we have right now is very easy to understand, even though if you're a first-time investor. And we do all the job for you. I know it's very hard to say trust us. The worst rule is say trust me. Our platform is going to be good for you. But that's what we really mean. You can trust us because we are really passionate about helping both investors and issuers. Because another thing I want to add, that's why I wanted to add, was everything that we're doing is about impact investments. Everything that we do is makes an impact to the B40 group that we're trying to support. So this is bigger than just an investment. If you're into what we are passionate about, is that we want to help the community as we get investors to make money on top of that, as a bonus. So that's all I have to say about that. So please try check us out. Thank you so much, Haikal, for this session. I wish I had more time, but yeah, thank you.
Also, we're regulated by SC. Don't forget, that's for extra safety.
Yeah, that's the important part. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you both of you. We see you in the next session. Goodbye.
Thanks, Haikal.
See you. Assalamualaikum, Haikal. Thank you.
Stay safe.